You mentioned cookware, and I want to. Several years ago, I got into like the glass containers, realizing, oh my gosh, okay, this is not good. And I see people putting hot food, let's say leftovers from dinner, into these plastic containers, and I'm like, no, don't do that. So I have switched. Can we talk a little bit about why it's so important to use, glass containers or sustainable
Yeah.
products for when you're putting food away?
So I love that you focus on glass because that is my favorite and it's the best. Glass is non-reactive. You just want to make sure it's lead free and glass is amazing. Um, so I'm also co-founder of Beyond Plastics New Jersey. We're changing the laws in New Jersey. We're part of the national organization Beyond Plastics that was founded by Judith Enck, and she's amazing. So yeah, plastic. Plastic always does two things. It always leaches and off gases. So there is some chemical scent coming off and just permeating into your environment, whether it's air, water, food, etc. And then little bits of plastic are breaking off. That's the micro and nanoplastics. And the microplastics are really tiny pieces you can see. So I have a cutting board video where I'm showing when you cut on a plastic cutting board, the little bits of plastic that come off. Those are microplastics. When you kind of need a microscope to see them, they're the nanoplastics. And those nanoplastics are the ones that are going between our blood organ barrier. So you and me and everybody else that's listening, we all have plastic in pretty much all of our organs. And there aren't tons of studies, but there are more coming out. And if you haven't seen the movie Plastic Detox, I think it's a must watch for everybody high school age and above. But we know, and we've known for many years, that hot plastic is even worse. So hot plastic tends to leach and create more of the plastic problem. So it's one thing to put room temperature things in plastic, like storing pencils in a pencil case or putting a sandwich in a container. It's a whole nother level when it's getting heated. There was a study done quite a number of years ago on babies fed with plastic bottles, and they ingest over 1 million micro and nanoplastics per day. And that's because babies eat on average
Wow.
eight plus times a day, right? They're fed all day long. That's number one. Number two, the milk is getting heated in plastic and then it's getting fed in plastic. So everything is causing the heat is the heat and the frequency are causing so much more plastic to get released into the milk. So yeah, it's really it's really a big issue. And um, I really don't go out to eat very often. And when I do go out to eat, we usually sit in and we bring our bento containers, either glass or metal, and we put our leftovers in the glass or metal. So glass is better because it's non-reactive, but we recognize that when you're going out for lunch, when your kids are in daycare or school, or you're at the beach, glass is not always an option. Sometimes it's prohibited by wherever you're
Yeah.
at. There's a lot of reasons. So stainless steel is going to be your next best choice. I'm not a fan of silicone. That's probably a whole nother conversation. And I'm a pragmatist. So I'm never going to say never. If you open my refrigerator, you will find pretty much all glass, tiny bit of metal, and pretty much the only plastic you will find in there are a couple of lids. We do a lot of beeswrap lids. We do a lot of cloth lids, a lot of glass lids, but we always have a couple of older items that have a plastic lid and they're kind of convenient. So I know that
Yeah.
I'm taking a risk when I do that, but we're trying
Yeah.
to be reasonable.